What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 5 NHL 22 Ottawa Senators Franchise Mode Series. As you guys can see there, we're currently 6-0 through the preseason, batting a point per game, so looking pretty good here to start. Last season, guys, spoiler warning, we actually finally made the playoffs for the first time. Unfortunately, though, we were in the first round, and Tampa Bay won their third Stanley Cup in 6 years. Absolute dynasty. So I'll show you guys the team getting to this season. Honestly, I'm very excited for it. I think we are Stanley Cup contenders. Some good veterans, some good young players. First line there, Tkachuk, Stützle, Patrick Laine, signed Laine at free agency. I think he's going to be an amazing player for us. $9.5 million there, but you got Stützle, a good playmaker. Tkachuk's the power forward. Should be like the perfect line there. Batherson, Crosby, Pacioretty. Trade for Crosby at the deadline. I've seen some of you guys in the comments weren't a fan of that, so I won't bring Crosby back past his 2-year contract here. We'll let him go in free agency or maybe trade him away. Fantilli, Cooley, Norris. So a couple of the rookies there playing with Norris. It looks to be a pretty good line. +2. White, Suter, Tolvanen. Gets a -1, but honestly, it's the fourth line. I think they'll be okay. Defensively here, Chabot and Spurgeon get a +5. We then have Bernard, Docker, Sanderson second pair. Ekholm and Murphy on the bottom pair. And in terms of special teams, we got +5 on both power plays, which is insane. 4-man power play there, 2 +3s. PK's 2 +3s. 3-man's a +2 and a +1. So the special teams are looking very good. Now goaltending, definitely the biggest question mark. Freddie Anderson's down to 82, but just recently, I think through franchise, through other videos, goalie ratings don't seem to matter much. So I'm going to try Roland Anderson here. He does have some X factors. His poise is still nice, 85, which is a big thing it seems for goalies. We've also got Olivier Rodrigue here, 81. I almost said Olivier Rodrigo for him instead, but I mean their names are pretty similar. I think that's alright. So look at the AHL team next year, guys. It's stacked. You got Ridley Gregg, Lucius, Phil Kessel, Braun, Emmanuel Cheap, Ozzy Weisblatt, Sam Steele, Fajimo, Rasmussen's in as well. You got Stranges there, Tumanen, Hamill, Casper, Olesen. Defensively, Pickering, Allen in 81, Thompson, Brophy, Terry, Saarinen. Thompson, a lot of people were saying I should trade. I'm kind of agreeing. 25, 78. Hasn't grown much. Hopefully, maybe get his value up during the season and at the deadline. Trade him for something. Sawgard starting there at 77. Alexei backing him up. Has immediately potential. So both these teams, like I said, looking good in terms of the captaincy. Tkachuk's wearing C, and then Chabot and Crosby wearing the 2 A's. I'll give you guys a look here at the ratings as well before we start the sim. Also, you guys forgot to mention, but again, thank you so much for all the support on this series. It really means a lot to me. You guys can drop a like on this one too. I would appreciate it. Now, as you guys can see here, we have 97 offense, 94 defense, 82 goaltending. So this team, like I said, should be Stanley Cup contender. Let's find out. And so at the end of December here, guys, we have a record of 18, 12, and 4, which is pretty good. You can see there we're second in the division behind the Bruins, who have 52 points, so they're killing it. Let's see. Crosby's leading the team in scoring, 38 and 34. This is why I always get him, guys. He just sims so well, even at his old age there. I guess he's not that old. He's in his 30s, but you know what I mean. 40 points, so yeah, we're definitely one of the top teams in the league. Hopefully we can continue to play well, maybe overtake the Bruins here by the deadline. Also, too, guys, check this out. Phil Kessel leading the AHL team in points, over a point per game there with 41 and 34. Also, too, we're third in the division, which isn't too bad. Now, I just got an interesting trade up here, guys, on the Flyers. Morgan Frost in a third for Hamill in a second. Frost is making 2.6. Obviously, he's further along. I'm sure he's decent rated. 85 overall at 26. He's a solid player. 96 deking. Pretty good shot there. Hamill here is 20 years old, 70 overall. So the question is Hamill going to end up better than him? He does have tape to tape, which is nice. Only 81 passing. Frost 1 year left, though. He will want to raise. I guess also too, I have to think, where does Frost even fit in? I honestly think he's on our fourth line. Because, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing him above anyone else because they have either, more potential or they're already higher rated. And then the fourth line's 82. So, yeah, I guess just to have him play on the fourth line, this doesn't make sense. Otherwise, if our team wasn't so stacked, I would be saying yes. And we just got offered Jacob Vrana for Hamill, Zubov, a second. That is so much. A medium top 6, a medium top 4 in a second. And I'm pretty sure Vrana was just a free agent. He is 87 overall. Jeez, he went up a lot. He's got 46 points right now. And he's only making 2.7. That's why they want such a good return. So again, honestly, a pretty decent offer. But I don't think we need to do that. We're at the trade deadline with a record of 33, 21, and 6. We're playing pretty good hockey. Currently tied with the Canadiens and the Panthers, so very close division. Lightning 1 point back there at 71. Metro, luckily, not as much competition there for the wildcard spots. They're in the 60s. Now we'd actually be doing even better. We had a bit of a falter in January. We went 2 and 8 there in the middle of the month. So if it wasn't for that, I think we'd actually be quite easily in second place. Crosby still leading scorer there. He's got 72 and 60 as a second liner. So producing quite well. Kessel over a point per game, still 68 and 61. I love it. Senators there, AHL team, second now in the division, so they're starting to do better. Again, we've gotten some pretty good trade offers. We're definitely a buyer. I'm trying to win the cup right now. I'm just wondering, like, where do we improve the team that makes the most sense, you know? Saros, 8 years left at 6.8. For an 89 overall, that's actually really good value for a goalie. I'm almost tempted to go that way. I know I just said high-rated goalies don't make sense, but that's a really good salary, honestly. Ryan Poehling there never got signed. I hate when that happens. John Carlson, Krug, Kopp, Vrana, Brown, 87 now, Palmieri, Jari. You guys were telling me in the comments it's not Jerry, it's Jari, so you're welcome. Andre Palat. Alright, let's see what else is out there. And speaking of goalies, guys, you can see Anderson's actually dropped in rating to an 82, and he's got below a 900 save percentage, 3.34 goals against. Yikes, okay, so we would be doing better if we had a better starter. Olivier Rodriguez there, also below 900. That's not good. I don't know why. Like, I thought we had a really solid defense in front of him, so a little bit concerning. So looking at Saros here, guys, is a bit of a beast. You can see tons of X factors, 89 overall, 30 years old, so we only need him for 5 more years till he's 35. We should be fine. He's got over 900 save percentage there, but he does have 3.2 goals against. I think the save percentage, though, should be good. He's got 86 poise there. Most of his stats there in the 90s. True, the reason they're trying to trade Saros, probably obviously Ascarov's past him, or he's equal to him in rating, 89, but younger there. So we can bring him in, flip Anderson, Ekholm, Bombary, and D. Basically, somebody has to go out for the salary. He makes the most sense. We'll call up Allen, who's the same rating. Soleil there, low elite, plus a Vancouver third. I think this is a pretty, good package for us. This makes a lot of sense. They say yes. Trades rejected. Okay, so I started out with the 3rd round pick, but we actually have a couple seconds. The Detroit won quite a lot of value. I'm thinking they're doing bad, so we'll be an early first. We'll try the Winnipeg Jets second here. Trades rejected still. I feel like we're offering a pretty good trade. Guys, we've been drafting so much. Look at all the unsigned prospects we've got. Korolev, medium top 6. 2nd round pick. He doesn't look too bad. I'm thinking a lot later this trade, and if they say no again, then I'm just going to move on. Andrew Kopp, definitely don't need. I'm going to try offering them Soleil and Korolev here with the 2nd at Colin Anderson for Saros, who's on the block. Like, come on, the value's almost double on our side now. And the trade is going through. Okay, so like I said, hopefully that's, worth it for us. I thought Anderson honestly would have been playing better than he has this season. And look at that, guys. We actually got the #1 player on the trade block at the deadline. I'm pretty happy with our team as is. Maybe we could get, like, a new 4th line forward. Hopefully get rid of that -1 chemistry. That's about it. And next, you guys are trying to get Sammy Blais to the Colorado Avalanche. 83 overall, 88 D awareness. Would fit on our 4th-line 4 for sure, and PK lines, offering up Tolvanen, who's basically spot he's taking, plus a 3rd. Have them retaining 50%. We'll see what the Avs say here. Value's on our side. Trades accepted. Okay, so like I said, I think hopefully that will get rid of the -1 chemistry as well. I think Sammy Blais is definitely more of a 4th line forward than Tolvanen, who's kind of a scorer. I think he definitely needs to be in the top 9. So trade deadline's almost over. I'm pretty happy with the 2 moves we made. And the trade deadline's now over, guys. And look at this. I thought we made the last trade, but a blockbuster goes down. Brad Marchand being traded from the Washington Capitals to the Philadelphia Flyers for a couple prospects. You guys can at least, medium top 6 forwards, medium top 4 defensemen, if not elites, because Marchand was still pretty decent, like 85 overall, I think, with X factors. Our trade, of course, for Sammy Blais. Jake Muzzin there, the Devils. Okay, 1st round pick to Buffalo. Kasperi Kapanen there to Philly. Torrey Krug goes back to Boston for 2 first-rounders. Oh my. Let's see. IFL there to the Canucks. Justin Falk returns to Carolina. Our trade for Saros. Arvidsson there to the Rangers with Kulikov. Andre Palat to Boston. Just for Bratt to Colorado. Kadri to the Devils. Duchesne to the Devils. Okay, they're loading up a bit here. Jake McCabe to the Sharks. Oh my gosh, Verana and Oshie both to the Kraken. So, pretty active trade deadline. Like I said, hopefully our 2 moves work out. And Rodriguez here is on waivers. 81 overall. Does he fit? We don't know if he fits the 4th line. And he was making $4.5 million. Okay, yeah, definitely in decline. So after the trade deadline, guys, here's an updated look at the team. I feel like Pacioretty and Crosby may have each dropped in rating, even though Crosby's leading their team in scoring. Pacioretty's also in a great season, 41 goals. Then you got Fantilli, Cooley, both up in rating, 84, 89 respectively. Cooley's just going to be one of the best 2-way forwards, I think, in the league. 95 D awareness, he's fast, good in the face-off circle, like pretty much everything you want. And then 4th line, guys, we still have -1. Sammy Blais there has 2 X's and then 3 neutrals for like the chemistry fit. Even though when I went to trade for him, it said like 100% he would fit line 4. So not sure what happened there. Maybe when I edit it, I'll notice I read it wrong, but I swear it said line 4 and there was like 4 bars, 100% fit. I don't know what happened, but what are you going to do? Luckily, defensively, Alan Koldup actually doesn't get a minus with Murphy on the bottom pair. So that worked out really well. Used Ekholm's cap, of course, to get Saros. Bernard Docker, Sanderson, so that second pair, Shabbat, Spurgeon on the top. Speaking of Saros, our new starting goalie, 89 overall, should be able to really help us out. And I think our special teams are still the same, as the only one Splice could play on is our PK, but we've already got some pretty nice PKers there. I guess Crosby I could maybe take off, just give him a break. And we still get +3. Okay, so nice. I'll do that. Like I said, Blyce did have good D right there, 88. Hopefully Crosby's endurance doesn't go down too much. So we'll see if this team, guys, with these changes continues to play well, and then once we get to the playoffs, anything can happen. And sadly, in the season here, guys, we have a record of 46, 29, and 7, so a solid season for sure. We finished 99 points there, one shy of 100. AHL team, 103 points. Second in the division, though, because the Comets are sick, and 119. So both teams making the playoffs, that's awesome. Hopefully, at least one of them can make a deep run. Crosby there, 91 points, 82 games. You love to see that. Phil Kessel also had 91 points, 82 games. All right, so we'll see how everyone else did on this team. Also, you guys forgot to mention, when I was looking at the team after the deadline, totally forgot to trade Lassie Thompson from the AHL team, so I'll probably do that at the draft. Maybe we could get like a third-round pick for him still, or package him for something else. Stutzla over a point per game, 88. Same with Line, 84, so nice to see. Pacioretty, 78 there, 37 years old. 50 goals as well, that's awesome. Kachuk, 76 is solid. Batherson, 70. Wow, I think that might be his best season yet. It is too, yeah, so that's awesome to see that. Shabbat, 52, it's D-Man. Spurgeon, 41. Cooley, 48 there's not too bad. Norris, 37. Not the best, but he was third liner, more of a two-way guy for us. Sanderson, Fantilli, so overall, yeah, pretty happy with that. Goaltending-wise, Saros, .904 to 3.2. Okay, you can see he only played 41 games because Skarov taking a lot of his starts. With us, 971, 2 shutouts, .924 and a 2.35. Wow, so we actually haven't played well in front of him. Those numbers are really nice, especially with the Semenjin scoring such a high. Like, those are awesome numbers. That's Vezina winning, but his record there is not great. So, yeah, the team in front of him definitely needs to play better. Not his fault at all if he's not getting wins right now. AHL team, we know Kessel, 91. Ozzy Weisblatt, 78. Okay, he's definitely going to go up in rating. We have a lot of guys pushing for NHL spots. You got Weisblatt, Fajimo already an 81. He had a great season. Really Greg there's an 81. Sam Steele's more of a depth guy. Chaz Lucius, he's going to want to come through soon. And I just don't have any room for these guys. It's just kind of like an embarrassment of riches at this point, especially since we have some other solid unsigned prospects. Probably going to package a bunch of them to try and get like a superstar player for the team, like real difference maker. Even Strange is 42, not too bad. I was saying his name wrong too, so I'm trying to fix all those mistakes for you guys. Olsen, I must have accidentally had him scratch after the trade deadline. 23.75, he's a guy probably want to move on from, not really looking like he's going to grow. So Saugard, .895, but a 2.6. So that just means the team was good. He had less than 900 save percentage. Alexiev there, 21.72, meme elite. Isn't too bad. And look at the entire league here, guys. Draisaitl with the Art Ross, 124. McDavid, 116, 1 and 2. As per usual in real life. So at least we're getting that accurate. Shane right there, 96 with the Kraken. Leading in goals is Kucherov with 61. And Pacioretty is, 6th in goals in the league. So pretty happy with that. Defensive scoring here, Quinn Hughes, point per game. Still with the Canucks. Taking a look at rookie skaters. We did have Fantilli. And he finished, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in scoring with 33 points. Shannon here, some made-up guy, 57. Scott Clapperton. Aatu Ratu there finally breaks through. Gets 39 at 23. Jeez, I'm really curious to see what he'll do. Miro Shevchenko did make the NHL till he's 22. He had 32 points. He's got a really good shot. He's got some X factors. It's a bit of a weird one to see. I've seen him get up to like a high 80. What is happening?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Keith Kincaid. Did he get worse? I think he was 76 last episode. So now 74. .912 save percentage. 2.75 goals against. 42 wins. Dude's a beast. Do I need to go trade for like a veteran journeyman goalie to finish first in the NHL? Because how is this working for the Islanders? How are they getting rewarded for this? I don't understand. Back-to-back years. Alright, save percentage here. Vejmelka with the Blackhawks, only 81. But he put up .914. That's really nice. Best for the starter for sure. And lowest goals against here for a starter is going to be Demko, 2.7. Vejmelka, though, not far behind him. He had 41 wins. I think he might win the Vezina, which is honestly really impressive. Going from Arizona, the season they're having right now, to winning a Vezina with the Blackhawks. Entire league here, Islanders, yeah, did win the President's Trophy, 105 points. Like, how ridiculous is that? Okay, 6 teams there, the 100 plus. We finished 7th with 99, tied with the Hurricanes. I will take it. Let's see here. Washington squeaks into 18. Last in the NHL is going to be the Pittsburgh Penguins, 69 points. Not nice. Same goes for the Wild there. The Red Wings, I actually saw they had like 3 players unsigned. I'm not sure what Ashman's doing there with the cap. Like, Joe Velina wasn't signed. McIsaac wasn't signed. I think Lindstrom as well. Hurricanes there, most goals for. We had second best goals for. Okay, so we're scoring well. That's good to see. And then goals against here. Ooh, we're not the best. And we're not the worst either. So, middle of the road, goals against. Hopefully Saros will help us out with that. And I guess we could bring in another defenseman, more of a defensive guy, to try and lock that down. As scoring, obviously, is not our issue. So, first round of playoffs here, guys, we have the Boston Bruins. We'll see what their team is looking like. As I already mentioned, no longer have Brad Marchand, but they did bring back Torrey Krug. Palat there as well, they made that trade for. He's playing with Scheifele, Pasternak first line. That's pretty nice. Nichushkin, Coyle, Burakovsky, Halas, Danica, Malgin, Petrano, Kerfoot, Balsters. Okay, so they got depth, but really after that first line, they have like not that much. Defensively, McAvoy's nice. Did they not trade for Torrey Krug? I swear Torrey Krug went home to Boston. I swear I saw that. He's not scratched, is he? Okay, I have no idea. And check this out, guys. It was bugging me so much wondering what happened with Torrey Krug. I thought he went home to Boston. He did, but they must have messed up the cap as he's actually in the AHL right now. That is terrible cap management. Having an 87 rotting on your AHL team. $6.5 million for 2 more years. So at least they'll have him for next year once they kind of figure out that cap situation. But good news for us. They don't have, I think, their second best defenseman for them. McAvoy, of course, is their best. But a nice little divisional rivalry here. Ottawa versus Boston. Round 1, we get the home ice advantage. OT loss, 1-0. We get 3-2 OT win. So the first 2 games both going to OT. Next 2 games in Boston, 4-2 loss, 5-2 win. It's a tight series so far. Game 5 at home, 3-2 OT loss. Are you kidding me? So more games have gone to OT so far than not. Please, can we finally get out of the first round? We got to win the next 2. Down 1s to Nika. 3-2. Crosby, Sanderson for us. Halleck, Coyle for them. 4-3. What a third. Laine gets both. Laine is the hero. Okay, so Game 7 now, guys. We have to win this. Do or die. Move on to the second round for the first time in this series. We rebuilt long enough. It's time to start competing for the Stanley Cup. Come on now. 2-0 lead. Murphy, Stützle. 5-1. That's what I'm talking about. Pasternak for them. Laine, Crosby, Batherson for us. 7-2. Decisive victory. There we go. If Boston had Torrey Krug, maybe that would have won them an extra game. And I mean, 2 of our losses as well were in OT. So, that was a very close series. Even, being down 3-2, going to Game 7. I didn't mean to sit in that first game against Tampa, which we lost, but that's all right. Crosby there has 9 points, 8 games. So, take a look at this Lightning team. I did notice, actually, when I was just kind of on the trade block, I think, Ryan McDonough was way down in rating. They got an 88 Cirelli, though, 92 point, 94 Kucherov first line. That's nasty. That's how they won the Cup last year. Radish up to an 86. I mean, I'm sure the Blackhawks would love that after trading for him. Stammer, Kachuk, as well as Kachuk to an 85. I don't know if they're both going to end up being that good. I think I actually have to drop their potentials a little bit. Dzingel, Ruzicka, Leeson, Panic, Gonclaves, Protis. Defensively here, Hedman, Sergachev, both 92s. Surprised Hedman's still 92 at 35, but I guess that's not too old. McDonough, like I said, down to a 75, which is, he's only a year older than Hedman. He's dropped to a 75, where Hedman stayed at 92. That's a weird one. Chernak 83, Foot 82, Pishik 79, and then in goal, Vasilevsky there's a 93. So they have a very good goalie, but so do we. Saros, 89 overall. I trust in Saros. We're already down 1, but it's not over yet. So I'll see the next couple of games here. We get a 2-0 win, a 4-3 win. Let's go. In Tampa now, 3-2 loss. All right, so still, we're 2-2 right now through this series. What's going to happen? Pivotal Game 5, 6-3 loss. Okay, so we were in this spot before. We were down 3-2 to Boston, climbed back, won the next 2. Come on, boys. Down 1, exact same spot. We had a big second, even bigger third. 2-1, let's go. Crosby, Stützle. Are you kidding me? Cirelli and Protis in the third period there. Tampa Bay, the defending Stanley Cup champs, knock us out of the playoffs in the second round. Honestly, I thought we had a really good team. I thought we had a good chance to go all the way. But the playoffs is mostly luck, and unfortunately we got unlucky this time. And speaking of that, our AHL team actually got knocked out there in round 2 by the Utica Comets, who we saw were absolutely nasty. So can't be too upset with them getting knocked out. And the draft results are in, guys. San Jose jumps from 7-1. The Coyotes from 9-2. So 2 really big jumps there. You might have noticed the Calgary Flames won the Stanley Cup. Crosby there at 14 and 13. Unfortunately, guys, the awards, I know a lot of times people want to see what the Stanley Cup winning team looks like. Calgary's in the West, so we probably won't ever play them. Let's see, this Perrott guy, 2023, 9th overall, okay. Berehowski there, 2022, 2nd overall. So a couple nasty made-up dudes. Dadonov, hopefully approved of that trade. Trouba there, Coronado there up to an 83. Boucher, who we traded them, up to an 82. He's not looking good at all for the Senators in real life. They got Braden Schneider from the Rangers. Interesting. So pretty good group of skaters there in terms of goalies. Markstrom, 86 overall still. And Dustin Wolf actually up to an 84. Okay, so honestly, I think our team was just as good as them. Which shows you our team is more than good enough to win a Stanley Cup. And next you guys look at the playoff tree, you can see the Flames went through the Ducks in 6, swept the Kraken, Blackhawks in 6, and then swept the Hurricanes. Hurricanes actually went 7 there with the Lightning, so we did lose to a good team. I mean, defending Stanley Cup champions, obviously they're a solid team. So, team awards there, we know all of them. Individual here, Draisaitl, Art, Ross, and Hart. Quinn Hughes, James Norris. He's actually not won it yet. Usually, I think in our Pittsburgh franchise, he was just dominating, winning like every James Norris trophy. DeBrincat, Lady Bing, Shannon there on the Ducks, Calder Trophy, Gaudreau, Conn Smythe, Demko, Vezina, also got the William Jennings. I honestly thought it would have been Vejmelka, but good for Demko. Yoshi there, Bill Masterton. I love that last name. Capitals coach, Jack Adams. Kent Johnson, Selke, very interesting. He's like an all-offense playmaking guy. Like, I even made him that way. I gave him like sick hands, all offensive X factors. I don't know how he got the Selke. Maybe he had like a really nice plus-minus. Draisaitl, Ted Lindsay, and then Kucherov, Maurice Richard. Looking at the AHL now, Utica Comets win the Calder Cup. So the best team won. I feel like that's a good thing. Individual here, Voracek down the AHL now, put up the most points. He also had MVP. Kurtz there, most goals for the Penguins. Lapointe, best rookie for the Penguins. They got a good team coming. Mukham Aldin, best defenseman. Fleury, best goalie. Kind of funny to see these all ran to MVP of the playoffs. It's kind of funny to see all these veterans down in the AHL. Chubara, sportsmanship. Yermo there, community involvement. And then Fleury also had lowest goals against. Okay, so we'll get to the draft now, guys. As I mentioned, I want to be active. Trying to move some of our prospects that don't really look like they're going to grow. Get some picks back. Rasmussen was a point per game in the playoffs. That's nice to see. But first here, guys, I almost forgot retired players. Bergeron there retires with the Capitals. Taves with the Golden Knights. Jeff Carter on the Hurricanes. Oshie with the Kraken. Letang and Suter, both free agents. Oh, yeah, 75 each. JVR was with the Red Wings. Atkinson on Boston. Radulov there on Philly. So some pretty decent PK Subban there. Some pretty big names. Ryan McDonough, which makes sense after he saw his rating. Goalie-wise, Carey Price hangs it up at 38 years old. Was down to a 75. You know what? I should have signed him for like the AHL. Because remember, he did, or actually, did he do good when we tried that the one time? I don't think he actually did as good as I thought he would with all the X factors. Because he is a 75, so I think that's a good thing. Like, the rating should matter more than X factors do. As I mentioned, guys, we're going to get to the draft here. We have a lot of picks still, so I'm actually excited. I think we can do some damage here, especially start moving some guys around. First things first, we'll take a look at this draft class. So immediately going first overall, would that be Jose Thorn? I assume that's how you pronounce that. From Flint. Polish dude, second. Okay. No gems at the top. We actually have no gems this year, but we have one bust. Alrighty then. Ooh. Goalie, 50-50 franchise, 64. Penning him. We have a second. Then 64 would actually be like the late second. So yeah, we for sure, I think, can take him. This guy could be medium elite. Pedro Brown. And as I mentioned before, guys, trying to trade a couple players here who look like they're going to be busts. Olesen, 23, only 75. Thompson there, 25, 78. They do have decent potential, though. If we can flip these two for Tampa's second, this would be a steal, I think. And they say yes. Okay, so that's awesome. As you can see, guys, we have a first-round pick, a couple seconds, some late picks. And there's actually some decent players out there I'd like to get, so I'm going to try and acquire some more picks, I think. Now, think about trading Pacioretty, guys, for signing rights, but as you can see, virtually no value. Even though he just put up 50 goals, like I think at least some team would give up 7 for him or something, but I'll just hold on to him in case he maybe, takes a deal, which I doubt coming off 50 goals, but his age maybe. Now, I noticed Sam Steele, $825K for the next 2 years. He did really well in the AHL. He had basically, 72 points, I think, there. But we have so many players like him. He could be worth about a second-round pick. I'm going to offer him with 2 fourths, one this year, one next year for the Avs second. And they say yes. Okay, I think that was a steal as well. And next year, guys, I'm trying to get an early second-round pick from the Sharks with a 5th-rounder for Saarinen here, who I think is going to be a bust because he's 22 and he's only a 71. That's pretty low for his age. And then Strombolopoulos here adding to try and smooth it over. Also, I wouldn't mind having to say that tongue twister of a name all the time. So, see what the Sharks say to this. Trades accepted. Okay, so I think we're pretty good now for the draft. We have a first and 4 seconds. And really, I don't even think we gave up that much, but there was a lot of guys in the draft class I like. I'll show you guys what happened at the top of the draft. Really not the best draft class. First overall, only a 78 medium elite. 76, 75, 71 medium elite at 4 to the Wild. Buffalo Sabres get a 67 medium elite. Like, definitely nothing crazy. So, we're going to have to check our pins here and see who's supposed to go next and just trying to work it that way. Briere there, guaranteed me in top 4. Central Scouting is definitely what we want to base it on, not our scout rank, because better idea when we'll get drafted. He's 37. You got Brown here, probably medium elite. He's 38. And then Sierra there's 43. So, I guess we'll go with the first guy because he is ranked 37. He might be an enforcer D-man, Briere here. Even if he is, hopefully he's good. 65 medium top 4. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Pick 23. Now just into our next pick here, guys. I noticed we missed a medium elite goalie there at the end of the first round, but we got some coming. I'm definitely, feeling pretty confident here about our drafts. Brown here is the next one to go. Probably medium elite. From the one sound attack. Come on. And he's a medium top 6, 65 overall. That is solid. Now pick 37 here. Again, we have a lot of second rounders. So Sierra's the next guy to go, guaranteed medium top 6 as well. We'll take him. And 61 medium top 6. Now the next pick here, guys, we have some options. Lance Weber here is goalie, guaranteed medium starter, but honestly, I don't really want him, as I'm going to take Foot here, who probably is medium elite. His ETA is 5 years, the same as the starter. This guy here, Ledecker, I think probably has close quarters. He could be nice. And then this forward up here, Braun, he might have duty backhand. So I guess we'll take him first. We'll then take the franchise goalie afterwards. And he's a 63 overall, low top 6. Not too bad. Picking out 61. Definitely, like I said, we're going to take the franchise goalie. The starter's there, but hopefully Foot is the right pick. 60 overall, medium elite. That's actually a really good starting rating, too, for medium elite. Like, usually they're, in the 50s. Hoyle's 49 medium elite. Was that the goalie I was looking at? I don't think so. Weber was 55 medium starter, so just had a little run of goalies there. And actually, guys, I'm trying to get the Blue Jackets 3rd round pick for Houston, medium top 9, nothing crazy, and a couple 5th rounders. Their picks on the block, they say no. Basically, there's one more guy left I'd like to get. 4th rounder, 2028, with a 5th this year in Houston. They do say yes. That was actually probably too much once I added the 4th rounder, but whatever. This next guy we're going to get, I think, is going to be a pretty solid player. Ledecker here, I already showed you guys, especially if he does have an X Factor. 62 overall, low top 6, no X Factor, but looks to be actually, like, not bad. Our next pick here, guys, is now in the 5th round. No 4th round pick. One thing I wanted to show you, our last pick in this draft is going to be one of the lowest ranked guys I've ever drafted. Rollison here, ranked 903, but he's 50-50 high starter. Like, that's going to be crazy if he is actually, any sort of player. Gotta see who we actually need to take next here. We're gonna take Brock Corkin here, guys, on the next pick. One of the higher ranked guys, 153, low elite, probably. And he's also got guaranteed 4-year NHL ETA, which is the lowest. Most of them at this point are 5 years. And he's 59, low top 9. Okay, so could have been a better pick. The next guy supposed to go here is Schutz, low elite, German defenseman. And low elite. Okay, there we go. Next year, guys, I'm offering the Jets a 7th round pick next year for their 7th this year, which they accept, which makes sense because their 7th's one of the last ones. And I'm going to try doing the same here with Florida, as basically there's 4 guys left in the draft, and I want all of them, so we'll see here if we can do this. It actually makes sense for them to say yes, because chances are, like, this will be a higher 7th, so I don't think I've ever had 4 picks in a row. Here we go. In the 7th round, hopefully we land on one of these guys. So we'll just go based on Central Scouting. Rosehill, 50-50, medium elite, 57 medium starter. For the end of the 7th round, that's actually really, really good. Next here we'll go with Daze or Daze, 54 low top 4. Again, for the end of the 7th round, this is amazing value. Usually, you're just happy not to get an AHL guy. We'll go Graves here next, 54 medium 7th. So he's the only one that's been bad, but at least he's not even AHL. And then last pick here, Rollison, 903, and an AHL starter. Okay, so that's why he's ranked 900, but I'm actually, like, really happy with that. And obviously, draft's now over, guys. We had, again, a ton of picks there. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever had onto the second page. So we made 12 picks in total there. Again, I think that's pretty nuts for a team that's currently contending for a Stanley Cup, having all these prospects still coming through. Like, we got 5 years left. I'm trying to, win it every year, constantly have, new good players coming up on cheap contracts. So we're at the re-sign phase here, guys, with $19 million in cap space. Chabot actually went up in ratings, now at 92. Same with Laine, who's a 91. So the entire first line is actually 91. And I think the +3, they're playing like 94, which is awesome. Most of the high-rated guys are actually under contract. Josh Norris, the first one that's not, only wants $4 million. That is such a fair deal. When he signed long-term, it goes up a bit in price. So I'm willing to do 2 years there at $4 million. That's a very, very fair ask. After that, it's Connor Murphy. He wants almost 5. So the thing with Murphy, guys, I noticed when at the trade deadline, Pickering here is now an 81. He's only 22, rolls top 6. Assuming him and Allen get, at least 0 chemistry. Pickering's left D, Allen's right D. That should actually be a nice fit. That could be our new bottom pair, Bernard Docker and either Spurgeon Sanderson, second pair with Chabot and whoever on the top pair. I think we can actually let Murphy go. I did, like he was more defensive or whatever, but clearly it wasn't really working out because we let in a lot of goals. So after that, we have Pacioretty coming off a 50-goal year. Only asking for 5 or just under. I'm willing to do a 1 year just in case, like these guys can kind of drop off at any point. We do 1 year at 4.5, maybe. If not, I think he'll for sure do 1 year for 4.75. So Sammy Blyce here wants 2.3. I thought he had chemistry on the 4th line. Apparently he doesn't, so letting him go. Colin White I'd like to keep around, especially at that price point. Like, we'll do, I don't know, 1.4 for 2 years. Chaz Lucius there will qualify. Should really get him for cheap. 800K for the next 2. Oh my gosh. We can get him, like, actually going here. 3 years, 900K. Like, that's a great contract. Phil Kessel kind of just want to bring back for fun. He kind of went off in the AHL. I'll do 1.1. I think I can completely bury, so I'll just do that. And, like, look at all these low 80s we have to work with, guys. Weisblek, Greg, Fajimo. Suter there is our 4th liner with White. And then you got, like, 4 guys, or 5 guys, actually, competing for the final spot. So Rasmussen would just be an AHL player. He's done growing. He didn't really light it up, so I'm fine letting him go. We got a lot of guys coming up, like Marco Kasper, probably first line center in the AHL next year, unless it's somebody that's like 80 plus. Gerby, 2271 low elite. Definitely need to get him signed, but that was a lot of money, so we'll just qualify. Nestorov, 2171 low top 9. That's not terrible. When do we pick him? 4th round, 2024. I do like trying to keep like the guys we've drafted as much as I can, as long as they don't have too bad. Like Petrosky, 2166. He's just a worse version. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. 2064 for Castles. Again, those guys, they're just not worth keeping. And like I was saying, guys, looking at our defense here, I think our top 6 is set for next season. Hopefully they play a little bit better. Brophy, 2272. Again, I don't know why random like AHL RFAs will start asking for $1 million bucks. Makes no sense. And in regards to the goaltenders, guys, of course, Sarah's coming back as our starter. How much does Rodriguez want to be the backup? 800K. That's honestly such good value for an 81. But last year at under 900, he had a 3.38. Like, that's not the best. I'm willing to kind of risk it. We could probably just re-sign him for agency and see if there's another like better backup, because usually there's some pretty cheap goalies available. I noticed last season I missed an Oljevic, but I saw him. I just didn't realize he was so cheap, and I was kind of just set on having Anderson as a starter. So Saugard, Alexi will be our AHL tandem next year. And then, like, look at this. We got Foote, who's 1960 medium elite. Nichols medium elite. Rosehill's a starter with decent rating. Rolson will never get signed, but like we got 3 more good goalies coming up. So we'll see what all these guys say. Starting out here, Chaz Lucius said yes. Again, that's a 3-year 900K deal. If he gets to like 84 or something, we're laughing. Norris comes back, value deal. White also said yes. Kessel wants to test free agency. All right, I mean, we played in the AHL last year, he lit it up. If he wants to go somewhere new, that's fine. Pacioretty wasn't content with the amount of minutes he played. He was a second liner. He had 50 goals. He was on the power play. I gotta go look at his minutes. I think after that it's just like AHL guys. Pacioretty had 16 minutes last year. His role's 3rd line scoring forward. Even if it was a second liner, like 16 minutes is quite fair. So Phil Kessel, I'm gonna respect Kessel's wishes. We also really don't need him again. We have a ton of 81 forwards to choose from there for that 4th line spot. Pacioretty. Like I said, I'm going to try 4.75. I think he'll probably say yes to that. Also, do you guys want to sign this Hamnick prospect here? He's American. We got him last year in the 3rd round. Look at that wrist shot. Like, are you kidding me? With 86 passing, and he's got 87 D awareness somehow. Very strange player. I think he might be one of those guys that's like an AHL All-Star. So Yeah, I'm going to get him locked up, and hopefully he'll tear it up. Wow, so Pacioretty again rejects, not content with the amount of minutes he played. I mean, he'll be in free agency for not that much more money, and we could kind of take a look and see who else is there. Potentially use that $5 million for them. So we're in a really good spot right now, guys. We got $15 million to spend, and literally our only need's a backup goalie. That's going to cost us like $1 million. So we could potentially go out and get a superstar this summer. Now, having said that, Logan Cooley will need a new contract next year. Definitely going to cost us a lot of money. Bastian will probably want to raise. Crosby, though, we could use his money. Same with Spurgeon, because he's dropping in rating. And our free agency here, guys, as you can see, the top player available, Matvei Michkov, franchise potential, 21 years old, already in 91, but he's an RFA. After that, you have Veranda up to an 89 at 30. He wants almost 10 mil. Quite the contrast to our Penguins franchise. He was like an 84. So that's why, you know, every franchise is different. Guys grow different. Zach is up to his 87, and we had him play on the fourth line. I actually feel a little bit bad about that. Andrew Kopp there, we had a trade offer for. He's an 87. I actually didn't realize he was that high rated. Kadri 86 only wants 4.5. That's actually a really nice value. He's got a bunch of X factors on him. Let's see. Ethan Bear, Barbashev. So cost in there 2.6 for 85 with really good physicals. Could just be like a great fourth liner for us. Definitely some options here. No real superstar, I guess, outside of Michkov. Schwartz is also really good defensively. A90 awareness there. Let's check goalies next here. Carter Hart's top free agent, 88 overall. So yeah, Saros is the best. In terms of backups, Markstrom could be like an elite backup, making almost $4 million, 86 overall. Doesn't really make sense though for him to only play, you know, 20 games or whatever. Yorgi 1.6. So what I actually want in a backup, I'm thinking, guys, is a good... Oh, wow. Could just bring back Freddie Anderson to be the backup. Now, one guy I was looking at was Sergei Bobrovsky, 80 overall. He's got 90 poise, which is really good. Last year, as a backup, .904 and a 3.08 with Florida. That's not too bad. Now, I wouldn't mind also just could bring Freddie back, but he's actually more expensive. I want to try, like, and see if poise is the main thing. Bobrovsky's got a .9. Let's do 1 year, 1 million. See what he says. And honestly, guys, I'm thinking about trying something I don't think I've ever done, and that's a giant offer sheet. Matvei Michkov is an amazing player. We have a stacked team, mostly young players, tons of prospects coming up. There's only 5 years left. What are those first round picks going to do for us? I really don't know. I want to go all in on Michkov here. I think it makes the most sense. 5 years there, he actually comes down in price. We only need him for 5 more years. Let's try 5 at 10.5. Probably like 3 first round picks. I'm not even sure which team he's on right now. So to make that offer, guys, I have to actually get our 3rd round pick for this coming draft back. Oilers currently have it, offering them 3rd in the year after, plus a 6th. I was going to say, I think that's pretty fair. So what I didn't realize, we'd actually only be getting Michkov for a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd. So here's my offer, guys. $10.5 million for 5 years. Hopefully, whatever team he's on right now, Montreal Canadiens, hopefully they cannot match that. They don't have the salary or whatever, but I'm assuming they probably will. If they do, we'll go get Pacioretty. You know, there's a lot of guys here. I'm willing to just kind of wait, though, get better deals. Should check two-way players. I haven't done that yet. In terms of goalies, they'd have to be really good to be worth signing. That first guy, if we didn't have Saugard, isn't too bad. Now, players here, Shane Pinto. We could bring him back. 25 years old, 80 overall. Wants less than $1 million. I know some people are upset I lost him. Let's bring him back. That's perfect. Nikkanen here, 86D awareness. It looks like he could potentially be a pretty good 4th liner, 25.79. We'll get him signed as well. And look at all these low 80s who want a 2-way contract. You guys can see we have a ton of contract spots open up because we have a lot of guys we've drafted and trade away guys who are actually signed. Casey Middlestat here actually is like a pretty good player. He could be maybe the AHL All-Star for us. I want to do 2 years at 800K, especially if we can then flip them like we did Sam Steele. This just seems like a no-brainer. Same with like the other guys here. Kukin, Svechnikov, Appleton. I'll take them all. And we actually could use some help on our AHLD. Keane here, 26.79. I'll bring him in for 1 year just to kind of help out while the younger guys grow. And sorting up by potential here, Heineman, 24.77. Medium top 6. I'll try and get him. But next year, guys, all we have to do is wait and see if the Montreal Canadiens don't match the offer on Michkov. That would, like, Michkov would be kind of the guy that, you know, changes this team up. Don't want Bennett right now while, you know, free agency's a thing. We can use our money for free to get guys. I don't have to make trades here. Kuznetsov, we, I guess, want to go down that route later. Svechnikov says yes. Middlestat. Bobrovsky. Based on the quality of your roster, I feel like when you get enough playing time. I mean, I was signing you to be the backup. Kukkinen, Pinto comes back. Alpton to the Hurricanes, that's okay. Keane there, joining the AHL team. Heineman, Nikkanen. Come on, Michkov. Appreciate your interest. Decided to go with another team. Wow. So I guess we should have offered him more money, but that's alright. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Could still go after like another RFA. There's only this Drake guy available. 2186. Is he good? He looks kind of nasty. Playmaker. He's pretty solid, but maybe it's just better to keep our picks. Also, guys, I was talking about how I wanted to sign Pacioretty again. He had 50 goals for us last year. You can see there, he's a really good sniper, but he didn't want to come back to us for whatever reason. I saw a guy kind of similar to him. Brad Marchand, only an 84 overall, but look at that shot. Like, incredible. He's got 53 goals. He still has 95 D awareness. Now, I see his skating and physical are both really bad, but I mean, this guy's performing. Tom Wilson, 3.75 for a big power forward is 84 overall. That's really good too. I'm willing to bring in Brad Marchand for 1 year here. Honestly, he'll probably say yes to 7. Let's try and wait a few weeks. I think we could probably get him cheaper. But Costin here, I'd love to have 85 overall. Really good power forward. Same goes for Jaden Schwartz, 84 overall. Only asking for 2.5. Great D awareness there. I'm basically trying to build like a better fourth line because I think that was something we were kind of lacking. 2.5 for 2 is probably okay. And we do still need a backup goalie. We actually have a few options. So Georgiev wants 1.6. Mrazek wants 800K. Same with Vlader. Vejmelka wants almost 2. He did have amazing numbers last year, but Mrazek I'm a big fan of as a Red Wings fan. I feel like we kind of did him dirty. The Smith there also wants 800K. Matt Murray wants 800K. Ooh, we had pretty decent numbers. We should bring Matt Murray back, I think. For that price, why not? I'll bring Murray back. Never did anything wrong for us. I'll do an extra 50K. Hopefully he says yes. Wow. Taylor Hall. Hamill, Snyder, Casper. That's a lot to give up. He's making almost 9 mil. What's Taylor Hall rated right now? 87. It's pretty good. But I feel like if we can get Marchand for free, it makes more sense. Keep our prospects. Bjorkstrand there for elite goalie, 2 seconds. It's also not a bad offer, but again, if I can get a guy like that for free, I should do it. So Schwartz said yes. That's awesome. Matt Murray said yes, coming back. Costin goes with the Coyotes. Didn't offer him enough money. Got a little bit cheap there. That's okay. We got Schwartz, who's a really good defensive guy. And Brian Rust here wants 2.3 million. See, like, we have so much money, and there's just no one to spend it on. I'm honestly thinking about just having a ton of cap space to use at the deadline to like bring in a superstar and then maybe extend that superstar or sign somebody different in the summer. Matt Duchene here, 84 overall, wants 2.2. The dude's super fast still. Decent D awareness. Like, what's his poise as well? 85 poise. I feel like this has to be a better than like an 81 on that fourth line. Let's offer 1 year, $2 million for Duchene. Like, this seems like such a good contract. And actually, guys, to my surprise, somebody signed Marchand, so maybe we'll just bring back Pacioretty. Like, he did well with us. I'm going to do 1 year, and we'll offer him what we already offered him, 4.75. See if he says yes. Now, another guy I was looking at on top of him and Duchene, I know we just got Schwartz as well. Kadri there is pretty solid. I don't know how we can pass on these guys. Even Brian Rust, 2.3 for 84. We could get him with Duchene. I didn't have a great season last year, but only playing 12.5 minutes. Giroux here. Imagine him, like, with, I think, Pacioretty. Such a good playmaker there. 85 D awareness, 90 faceoffs. What's Kadri got? 89 D awareness as well. Not quite as good in the faceoff circle. Kadri's also got roll second line forward there, which he's not going to be playing. So I'm thinking Giroux, roll third line scorer. Even if he's fourth line, it shouldn't affect him. Plus, he's old. We'll do like a 1 year deal, 3.5 for Giroux. We're just bringing in tons of veterans here. But again, tons of money. We missed out on the big fish in Michkov. And there's really no one left to sign like with one. Oh, wow. Giroux signs the next day with one big contract. So trying to spread it out there, get some solid players. Duchene, I just remember too, former Ottawa player. Actually had one of his best seasons ever with the Sens. Pacioretty, quite clear in regards to my contract duration. Okay, he like had to spell it out there for us. So I guess we can go back and get Pacioretty. We still have $10 million. We'll get him locked up. He's actually asking for more now because he's a top free agent, but that's fine. Let's see if he'll do 1 year at 6. Like I said, we'll still have $4.5 million in cap space after that, and we can use that money at the deadline. And honestly, there'll probably be even more than that at the fall. So like I said, we'll use at the deadline to do something. Erik Karlsson in the third for Casper and Hamonic. Do we bring Karlsson back to Ottawa? He's an 80 overall now. Ooh. 15 goals, 11 assists. I think if we bring Karlsson back to Ottawa, it's next year in free agency. That $11.5 million contract to just too hard to make work. And there you go, guys. Pacioretty is returning. So a pretty busy summer for us with tons of trades, draft picks, and signings. Hopefully it works out. And next year, guys, we're trying to trade Suter to the Canucks for a second-round pick. He's a good player, 83 overall. He went up in rating after last season with 24 points, 8 minutes of ice time, but he's actually our 13th best forward. We are so stacked again. So when we get a second, it's worth it. There we go. So yeah, just kind of restocking the draft. I mean, look at that. We have 3 seconds already for next year. Like, that's pretty solid. And we should get a pretty big trade off here, guys. Nugent Hopkins in a third for Brophy and Alexeyev. I feel like, though, as I mentioned, we have 84s on the 4th line. Nugent Hopkins is pretty sick. He's 88 overall. He's got 90 D awareness. Geez, so he's a very good player. And he's only making $5 million, which is actually a great contract. Alexeyev is one of many medium league goalies we have. Brophy's a medium league defenseman. They're giving back our 3rd round pick. But honestly, guys, I'm looking at our forward depth, and there's just nowhere, I think, for Nuge to go. I'd rather just keep the prospects, like I said. Unless it's a superstar, we're talking 90 plus. I don't think it's worth adding another guy. And I'm actually trying to make one more trade here, guys. One of our depth forwards, Colin White, signed to $1.4 million for the next 2 years. Only 81. He's in the AHL for us. He's got about 2nd round pick value. We might have to add like a 5th round pick with him to make this happen, but it seems like such a good trade for us. Yeah, Winnipeg says yes. Oh my gosh. So we have 3 seconds this year, 2 seconds already for next year. We're looking good. And now, guys, I'll share our lines for next season. Honestly, we are so stacked. I'm sure we're going to make the playoffs, but we better actually go on a deep run here. So first line, just look at Chuck, Stützle, Line, getting that +3. So they're all playing like 94s. You then have Crosby, Cooley, and Batherson getting a +5 on the 2nd line. Fantilli, Giroux, and Pacioretty get a +5 on the 3rd. Our 4th line's absolutely stacked. Schwartz, Norris, Duchesne. Norris is an 86, which is actually kind of funny. He's the only forward we have on the team that doesn't have an X factor. And that was just kind of how it worked out for like the chemistry. Giroux with the boost in 87, so technically better than him. I feel bad, but like this team, top to bottom. Luckily, we do have ice time allocation there, roll 4 lines. Defensively here, Shabbat, Spurgeon still top pair because they get a +5. Sanderson does not, so this will make Shabbat play like a 97. Spurgeon would be better than Sanderson. It makes sense. Bernard Docker there, back to 84, which is nice because we do have him locked up cheap, 2.4 for the next 5. Pickering and Allen both went up to 82, so a nice bottom pair there. They're going to need new contracts next season. Saris, of course, our starter, 89 overall. Murray backing him up, still 82, did not drop. So I'm really excited, guys. Like, this team, top to bottom, looks nasty. AHL team as well. I don't know how we don't win the Calder. We have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80 overall plus forwards. Like, I was actually looking through all the other teams. I was like, is everyone else like this? Because maybe, like, players grow and stuff. But no. Most AHL teams are all 70s with, like, 180 and maybe 1 or 2 60s. So our team is quite stacked. Now, defensively, not quite as good. You can see it's actually all 70s there, even a couple low 70s. But we should be okay with that forward group, especially Alexeyev here is our starter. 77 overall now, medium league potential. Our teams, guys, are absolutely nuts. I'm going to check our ratings here next. You can see Torrey Krug actually on Boston now, but he's dropped in rating. We have 100 offense, which makes sense, 95 defense, and 88 goaltending. Yeah, so, yeah, it's cup or bust for us next season, guys. Hopefully it can get it done. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.